Welcome back to the DuckFellas Podcast, episode 28. Today, it is hosted by Zach and myself, Tyler. Do us a favor, make sure you hit that like button or subscribe while you're tuning in today, tomorrow, whenever it may be.
Just do it.
Please.
Be like Nike. Just do it.
We're struggling out here.
It's rough in the trenches.
How you been, buddy? It's been a bit, a few weeks since we've done one. We missed last week. We were all a little too busy.
I think busy and a little tired after a long weekend of the banquet and everything else. So, been busy as usual. Work's picking up. Just trying to, moving and stuff like that. So,
yeah, and I don't think we've had a podcast since you closed on your house and started moving.
Nope. We closed 2 weeks ago, Friday. So
it's exciting.
It was super exciting. Went from a 5-minute drive to work to a 35-minute drive to work, but
can't beat it.
I don't have any neighbors, so I'm gonna take it.
That is a plus. I enjoy not having any neighbors anymore.
And every evening and every morning, there's a small flock of geese that sit across the road on the pond, so I get to listen to them honk every morning. They talk in the evening when they get up and go right back.
Yeah? You're standing out there just flipping them off?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, come fall. Them guys are screwed.
That's awesome. Well, I guess before we get going here, we'll mention we are coming to the end of the giveaway. That we are going to do it on our next podcast, which won't be next Monday, but probably the following Monday. It'll be here in June, I believe. So make sure if you haven't yet, you get entered in that contest. It's pretty easy. You can go out there and win yourself Alps layout blind.
Sick blinds. I don't know
They're
what
not
the
bad.
holdup is. They're a lot better than my first one.
My first one was just laying out there and hiding underneath the decoys.
Well, I don't think they'd invented layout blinds yet when you were
Oh my god! No, we had those big goose shells you hid under.
Oh my god! Yes, with the grate above your head.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
Times were good back then, though.
The mega honker. Jesus.
Oh man. Yeah, but no. So, not many entries, but I don't care. We're gonna run it anyways, so people that are entered, you have a very solid chance of winning. To the people that aren't entered, sucks to suck.
And they would know.
Yeah. Yeah, they might. So, we're gonna touch on this at the end of the episode, but since our last podcast, some news has kinda came out, and the state of Oklahoma passed some new guide regulations that I don't know if it's gonna make a big difference, but it's a step in the right direction compared to, like, some states, like, I think here in Iowa, we don't have any regulations for guides.
Yep. Yeah,
So
they
that go
definitely help with some, well, like you said, we're gonna touch on it again towards the end here, but will definitely help with some exploitation, if you will.
right.
So,
It'll be interesting. I like to see a lotta states kinda implement some stuff as since waterfowling has really blown up in the past 10 years from what it used to be.
going as you should, I know we kinda talked about it with Iowa having, I'm 99% sure you do have to have a license for deer, right? So,
Right.
why would you, I mean, any waterfowl or migratory birds a federal deal, so why would you not make that to where you have to as well?
Yeah, no, exactly. It's kinda wild that I mean, I didn't know we didn't have it. I kinda had a feeling we didn't, and then we were talking about it before the podcast where, yeah, you thought we did, and,
I I had assumed with just, I mean, just kinda like how our DNR, they try to do the best for what's in the wildlife and the management and everything else, whether it ends up like that or comes across like that. But I assumed we did, but no, I was wrong. So,
right, right. Kinda crazy, but like we said, we will circle back to that. We just thought we'd touch on that a little bit right away, and now we're gonna move into we'll kinda recap the Delta banquet we just had here last weekend, and why don't you go ahead and kick it off here with you being on the committee and all?
yeah, I mean, fantastic turnout, right? We sold out, gave away a lot of cool stuff. We had a good turnout, some guys that definitely showed up willing to spend some money for the right cause. Had a record-breaking year as far as what we made, and which is great, right? Because we could turn that right back around and put it into the habitat and making more ducks and duck hunters here in Iowa, so
Well, right. Then the more money you guys bring in at that, the more you get to keep here locally and put in
yep.
public areas here or however you may be.
Yeah, and it's, obviously, there's some fees and stuff like that that a lot of people don't see or realize, but I know we're probably 25% more than certain other national organizations.
Right. We no names, no names.
Nope. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to start I'm not trying to have
Uh,
somebody tell me to go count carpet fibers or anything in the comments.
no kidding. Oh, that'd be rough.
So,
Uh,
yeah, great, it was great turnout, it was awesome weekend.
yeah, it was I mean, it was honestly a packed house in there, and it was it was hotter than hell in that place.
Man, I was running around like crazy. I was just trying to, help where I can and working a couple different games there and stepping in where we needed a little more help. But man, you could get 2 or 3 laps around that building, and I was I was wet from top to bottom.
Yeah, and so this was the first year in that venue, and you guys packed it right away. So, I mean, maybe next year we even go bigger. I mean, is there another bigger venue close to us?
I have a contact actually that talked to me that night about moving the venue. It would be bigger and AC.
Oh,
So
I
there should
like it
be
already.
yeah, there's gonna be some conversations to be had and some logistics to go through and stuff like that. See if we can make it work, right? But I think if it all works out the way that we talked, it's gonna be really nice. We'll be able to fit another 100 people, and like I said, AC is a big one.
I mean, when it's hot and humid like it was that day, it does make a big difference because that man, that room was it was steaming, but
It's
just just made you drink more beer to stay hydrated.
exactly. And we had nice cold bush lattes there for you guys, and obviously, I think with the way some of the things were selling, there were some guys that were going down pretty smooth, but
Yeah,
that's the
no,
goal, right? That's what you want.
I mean, that's why you serve alcohol at these shindigs is, sometimes people get a drink a little too much and start spending some extra money.
That's a lot of times checkbooks are like women. The more you drink, the more they open.
Nothing wrong with that. It's going to a good cause for the most part, so spend it while you got it.
Yep.
Mm.
Speaking of, there was a couple things I had my eye on that were, for those that weren't able to make it, we had a really cool sprint car wing with all of our sponsors on it and just happened to have a DuckFellas logo on it as well. And I think somebody in this chat went ahead and took it home that night.
Yeah,
So
I believe someone did.
yeah, it's gonna be badass here. Hopefully, next couple weeks or month or whatever, we get that in the background of your screen there.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick. It turned out really well. I was kinda surprised that it went as low as it did being Knoxville, being a big sprint car town, but,
It is
it's kind of a gamble, I guess, with that something like that at a hunting venue. Because I
right.
mean, honestly, most people don't can't afford to race and hunt, but most I thought most hunters are race fans, especially in our area, you know?
Yeah,
But
no, I agree, and I thought it was gonna go over well. I wasn't. My personal guess on it was about $100 more than you paid for it, and I thought that's where it was gonna bring, and fell up just short of that, but good for you. I mean, and good
yeah.
for us. We didn't have a tenth of that in it, so
Right. No, I mean, that's it was a cool thing. I got it cheaper than I thought I would, to be honest with you. Me and Cade were talking about splitting it if it got so high so we can make sure we get it, but it went cheaper than we thought, and yeah, I mean, I'm happy.
yeah, you're happy, we're happy, and that's all that matters.
Right. The only complaint I had, other than no AC, on the whole deal was we gotta have more prints next year, my guy. And
I
Colton, I see you
know,
in the chat here. I know you're listening. More prints in
I
both
know,
the auction and silent auction.
yeah, and I will say the 2 prints that I was eyeballing went for a pretty penny, and I was like, I'm glad they did, but that just should reinforce to us that, yeah, we're gonna work on getting some more. It'd be nice if we could find, whether we can find them, donate them, buy them, whatever, some old Terry Redlands or even maybe an old Larry Zach or something like that to get a few more into the auction.
Right. I mean, for me, that's one of my favorite things to go there and bid on or look at is the prints, you know? It's just
I'm
I love them.
I'm terrible about it. We were moving and I've got a stack. You can't even see my hands, but a stack of prints in the basement. Mary's like, "What are we gonna do with these?" And I'm like, "Hang them on the wall, duh."
What kind of question is that?
We're trying to build a nerd baby, so I was like, "I gotta make sure this kid grows up like in duck hunting." So we need to start slapping some duck prints up on the wall.
Right. There you go. And, all in all, like you said, it was a great event. I feel like we had a really some really great people there. Everybody got along. It was a good time, people mingling and chatting with each other. And I'll give hats off to the whole committee crew that put it on, and especially Colton. I feel like Colton does quite a bit, and he takes a lot of pride in how that event
Easy,
goes off.
easy. I can feel his head getting bigger from here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it can't get much bigger till it just blows up.
No,
Uh,
seriously, Colton does do a lot of shit, the shit part of the job, so hats off to him. Like I said, hats off to everybody. There's a couple guys that fell short, so I told Colton, you gotta cut dead weight, man, but everybody else that showed up and helped, it was awesome. They all stepped up where they needed to, so
no, yeah, for sure. Absolutely good time. He knows how to kinda promote a deal too, and y'all did a good job all year long kinda putting that together, and once you got it figured out, starting to share it out, and hell, it sold out, so can't complain about that.
yep. Yep, can't wait to do it again next year.
Yeah, it'll be here before we know it too. Just like hunting seasons, feels like it's coming on strong.
I was literally going through totes in the garage, this week, and I was like, "Oh, I don't need to do that." I was supposed to hunt totes to the side right now and go through this later. And then, like, on the plane right out here, I was like, "Oh my god." I'm like, "September's gonna be here in a blink of an eye."
It is, and unfortunately for me this year, I'm not gonna get a hunt much until the second half and later on in the season. Because with work this year and buying a house and trying to build a shop and spending money like I'm made of it, I'm just gonna work through November this year, and I'll be off December and January probably, so get
Which,
plenty of hunting in then.
I mean, for 2 other people in this this podcast group, works out pretty well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the Delta Expo, that's our next big thing coming up,
I was gonna say,
and
speaking of spending money,
and it's That's coming quick too. I mean, we're into July, but we're already into June here, and we're already over a week into June.
I was actually doing some numbers in my head the other day and counting some cash in the safe, and I was like, "All right, I need to set this back. I'm gonna set that back because I know I want to try to buy this." And then I went, "Oh my god!" I was like, "I only got one more paycheck till the expo. Maybe I'm not gonna spend that much money."
Yeah, yeah. It's man, it feels like it's coming on strong, but I'm looking forward to that. It's something, and we've discussed it before. This is an event that does not come around very often, and it hasn't been here yet. This is gonna be the first year that we have it in Des Moines, and I've heard rumors and murmurs that it's gonna be back within the next year, 2 or 3, something like that again, and then it'll probably be gone for a while.
Yeah, that's and this is one I've had my eye on for. I mean, Colton Bradley and Corey Swan can attest. I think I've messaged them both the past 2 years. They're going out of state and going to it, and I was like, "This looks like such a freaking blast." You know, all the new products and the things you're going to see there. And so yeah, when I heard it was coming to Des Moines, we were pretty stoked about it.
Yeah, as soon as I heard it was coming to Des Moines, I pretty much wrote it down in the calendar at work that I will not be at work those 3 days.
Yep.
Just because of the people. I mean, we're gonna have people from all over the country that just live and breathe the same thing we do, and you'll get to talk to them, see them, talk. I mean, hang out. It just an overall good time.
Yeah. I mean, and obviously the banquet's Friday night, so that's gonna Friday, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
that was the next thing we're going to go into. Here's the schedule
Oh yeah.
for it. So go ahead and hit up Friday. Like, tell us how
Yeah.
what
So
goes on Friday.
Fridays be nice. Obviously all your vendors can be there early, but doors open at noon. So they'll do that celebratory ribbon cutting and the floral open. The show will run till 6 thereabouts. Between there, so 1 to 5 is there's gonna be some seminars and sessions. I don't know exactly which ones are in there, but obviously there's gonna be some good ones. I can imagine hunting scenarios and calling and everything else. But then, yeah, the fun one, which is probably gonna cause some pain Saturday morning, 5:30 to 10 is the banquet there at the
Oof.
expo.
Oh.
So, I don't know if it's gonna be more of a hangover or more of a regret or more anxiety depending on what my checkbook looks like after Friday night.
Well, I'm hoping. So we bought a table to that
Yep.
for the DuckFellas podcast, and I haven't got an email back on that table. I paid for it. Oh, what was that, like a month and a half, 2 months ago now, probably?
Yeah, it's been a while now.
I mean, it was pretty close to when they first started selling tickets to the expo and the banquet.
I think
Yeah.
it was that weekend because I know we talked about it when tickets were going on sale, and I was like, "Yep, we'll find people to fill it. Let's just buy one and go."
Right. So I'm hoping as it gets closer, I get an email about it, or I don't get an email about it, and we show up Friday and we just really hope that we
They
have a
they
table.
that they do have 8 tickets for us.
Yeah. I think if I'm
Is it
not mistaken, that one's 10.
is it 10?
Yeah, I
Okay.
believe the tables are 10 people at that banquet because it was 2 more than what our local banquet was.
Oh, yep, yeah, so it'd be 10 a table.
Yeah. And then there's dinner. Oh, Colton said we're on the list. So,
Is that like list of you have a table, or is that a you're on the waiting list for a table?
I'm probably on the waiting list. Bunch of losers trying to come to our banquet. Nah.
Yeah, like, duck fellas? Like, no.
They're not allowed. That's gonna be a fun one. I look really look forward to that, seeing all the stuff they have there at that banquet. That should be an absolute blast.
Yeah, I'm really stoked because I think there's definitely be I mean, I think there's a lot of new products or stuff that's coming out, but I think there's gonna be a couple that are gonna be really interesting, really grab your attention, so hope that's the case. Selfishly, I'm hoping to run a slight sale on some waiters, like an expo special on some waiters.
They usually do.
I know,
They
and
usually
that's
do.
$1,200 is gonna hurt.
Well, you heard it here first. We do have a table.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But is
Phew.
he at our table?
No, I think he's a Delta table, if I remember right.
Alright, dodge that one. I'm
We'll move
I'm
into
just saying we had him at a table at the ISC banquet, and he been on a vacation for somebody else that was at Lake Red Rock.
oh my god.
Yeah, it was a bad deal. He got that kid got all fired up, so all I know, you're sitting at a table with Bradley, hide your numbers.
Absolutely. Noted. let's go ahead and move into Saturday here. So it's gonna be doors open at 9 a.m. and the expo runs till 5 p.m. Then you have your seminars and sessions in the middle there from 10 to 4. But in the middle of the day, there is a Delta Grand National Double Reed Duck Calling Championship contest. So that should be interesting. Should be.
I'm really, really looking forward to that.
Have you ever been to a calling competition?
Nope, and that's why I'm just stoked. I mean, obviously, I've seen them online, watched videos of them, but I'm stoked to see one in person.
Yeah, it's kinda cool to watch the competition and, like, hear the different styles of calling and the different caliber of callers that
Yep,
come out. It's always cool to kinda not just compare yourself to kinda how they sound, because competition calling's a whole different animal. I used to do
right.
it myself years ago, and, uh, you don't use any of those except for when you're highballing and screaming at them in a long distance, but they're always fun to watch. I enjoy watching them and going to them, and then I believe I don't know if this is an evening, but there's a Champions of Delta luncheon and then banquet events is what it says here. I don't know what banquet events are.
I'm sure if there's somebody in the chat, the old CB, could comment and give us some sort of information maybe, because I'm not entirely sure. This will be my first expo as well as you, so I'm not sure what to expect there, but yeah, that is the evening, which I assume is starting at 5?
Yeah, I would assume. I don't know. I don't really know. Well, the luncheon I think is would be in the afternoon.
You would, yeah, but then you got the expo ends at 5. You wouldn't think they'd try to do it,
I
I don't know.
I don't know.
Mm,
Alls I know is I'll be asking everybody what bar we're going to after the expo gets done,
you son of a bitch, I'm in.
because I believe we got the hotel room for 2 nights, right? Friday and Saturday.
Yep, we sure do. Yeah, so, I mean, I think maybe Saturday we hit up Prairie Meadows so I can maybe win some money to spend at the expo.
Unless you don't have any money left over from the banquet Friday night.
I didn't think about that because that's a
Yeah.
very real possibility.
We might have to set some money aside Friday morning when we get to the hotel, or Friday afternoon when we get to the hotel, and leave it
Yeah, I'm
in the room for the next day.
$1,000 straight in the microwave.
Microwave. There's a
I don't know.
safe in the room.
I don't trust them. The housekeepers know the combination.
Can't you change the oh, no, there is a master code.
I don't know. I was just being sarcastic, but yeah, I'm gonna have to set some cash aside.
Yeah, probably wouldn't hurt. What about
Um,
Sunday? What do we got?
Sunday, so you got for all you religious folks, there is a Duck Hunters church service, 9 a.m. And then also at 9 a.m., the show floor will open up and that'll run till 4. And then basically kind of throughout the day, same as Friday, middle in between that, or same as both days. So at 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., they're gonna have some different seminars and sessions going on. So 4 p.m. Sunday, shut the doors. Everybody, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay there.
And, if you're not from the Des Moines area, or even if you are, I mean, we're not that far from Des Moines, 40 minutes, but
Yeah.
well, hour and 15 minutes for you now.
Yep.
But if you're matter whether you're from the area or not from the area, and you plan on going up there and having just a good time, not worrying about, like, just wanting to let loose, drink, make th just I think you can get on Delta's the event page, and you can book hotel rooms through there too, or it'll show you, like, all the hotels that are close by that are within walking distance rather than drinking and driving. That's
Yeah.
big
Obviously, we
deal.
don't condone that, but Des Moines is big enough. I mean, it's no New Orleans, I think is where it was at last year, right? Or Baton Rouge?
Mm, wasn't it Oklahoma?
Or was that 2 years ago? It was Louisiana. Last year was Oklahoma.
I think it was in Oklahoma last year.
Either way, not gonna be that big, but there is Uber, there's Lyft, all that stuff. So you get a drink, get a Lyft ride home back to the hotel and or whatever.
Right, and that's what we did, and we know how we are, and that's
Yep.
a long drive home, so now I'd rather be able to do whatever I want there and let loose and drink as much as I want and become a chatty Cathy with everybody and
Yep.
kinda just let loose.
Yeah. And I hope anybody that's listening, if you see us walking around the show, I mean, stop, talk to us, give us some thoughts or opinions or shit you want to hear.
Yeah, we are working up some things to kinda do, maybe a live stream or 2 while we're there, kinda, like, going over what's there, I'm hoping to kinda do something Friday, earlier in the day Friday, kind of just going over what's all there, what you can look for, kind of things like that, and then we also got something else in the works. we may have a neat little live stream on Saturday, I think, but we're still working out the details on that one.
Yep. Yep. I hope so, but you never know.
Yeah, it's not really the ball's out of our court on it. We're just kinda waiting to see. We're down for it, but we gotta figure out everybody else is. But if you're looking for tickets for this deal, you can purchase them online. They're on the Hy-Vee Tix Delta Waterfowl Expo page. Go there or just Google Delta Waterfowl Expo tickets and you can find them pretty easily. A one-day pass is $15 for an adult. The 3-day wristband is $34, and then any youth 15 and under, completely free. Bring your kids, have a good time, show them all the hunting stuff there is coming out and everything there is to have for waterfowl hunting. What are you doing?
I have somebody text me and tell me this mic looked gay, so I'm trying to turn the light off and it won't work.
I was gonna tell you that before, but I wanted someone else to tell you.
Well, I left my mic at home on this plane ride down here to old Kentucky, so I had to stop at Best Buy and buy a freshie. They have a
Hey,
lot of options.
it is what it is. You just gotta get used to being made fun of.
Is that better?
Yeah. Just gonna hold that there the whole time?
Yeah, I'm gonna set the damn. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so obviously cheap to get in the show. Um, get your tickets, come check it out. Be a lot of guys there. Foils, Lucky Duck, IHP's there, Gator Tail, Sitka, Sheen, Woody Creek. Shout out Brett Henderson. And yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be a pile of clothes and decoys and rigs and everything else. So
And a lot of new stuff that had like I know a lot of companies release the new stuff coming out this year
yeah,
at these expos. So,
yep.
I mean, might not the only way to find out something new's coming out first and early is by going to this, and they might even have it for sale there. Like, you could be one of the first few people to get it. Some
And
people get off on that.
yeah, they want to throw it on Facebook, let everybody know that they're important. But
Spooky.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, so again, if you have any questions about the expo, feel free to reach out to Colton Bradley.
yeah, with all your questions, just
We don't know much.
call Colton.
641-891. No, I was kidding. Anywho, yeah, I'd say I kinda wanna roll into this bill in Oklahoma for the guide fee here.
Yeah, it's kinda an interesting one. I mean, it's something I'm kinda surprised they haven't done years ago with waterfowl hunting becoming popular, within the past 15 years. I'd say it's really gotten a lot more popular, and then guiding and outfitting has just exploded in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
So I look to see what like, any of the states that don't have something like this or, like, North Dakota, we'll touch on that at the end here, kinda compare it because they got some pretty strict rules. But I look to see a lot of states that don't have regulations starting to put them in place to kind of, I don't know, not just kind of regulate who has a guide license and who can legally guide.
Well, when you think about it, right, we'll go into some details here on it, but, if you look at Iowa, we don't require the waterfowl guide license. Oklahoma, obviously, we're talking about just instated it. If you don't have to have a guide license, you can pay me to take you duck hunting, and I can take you to any public waters, right?
No,
Don't fucking
no,
smirk when I say
can't
that.
guide on public ground.
I thought that's what this bill was introducing.
I guess I don't know that. That I don't know for sure. The
That's
bill does
well,
introduce that, but I don't know if you could previously or not.
fair question, because when I was reading through the bill, it pointed out that the only
Eh,
places you had to have this were on your own ground, right? So
No, not on your own ground, on private
that
ground.
or I said that backwards.
Come on, get your shit together.
Said that backwards. But yeah, I mean, if that's the case, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but assuming you're allowed to guide on public, now you're bringing revenue into the state for the exploitation of public grounds.
Correct.
So, I don't know why you wouldn't. I don't know why most states wouldn't follow with it. I mean,
Right. So the bill that we're talking about is Oklahoma SB 2095. It's been a thing in progress, I believe, for the past 2 or 3 years, and they've been working out the details on it. But this was just signed by the governor on May 11th and will become effective November 1st of this year, 2026.
Yeah, I mean, essential outlines. Obviously, the outfitter has to be 18. I don't know why. I should. I mean, I guess yeah. I get you trying to grind it when you're young, but Jesus Christ, if I showed up for a paid hunt and there was a 16-year-old, I'd be like,
You wouldn't give him a
hold on.
chance? You just say, "Nah, I'm out of here, bro."
I'd give him a chance, but I would be definitely judgmental right away.
Could be the best hunt you ever been on.
Could be, could be able to produce a valid driver's license and residency, and then obviously any license should show that stuff on it. You also have to have insurance, which checks out, right?
How much
And
insurance? It's a big
that's
one.
liability coverage of no less than $1 million. That's a lot of zeros.
It is a lot of zeros. I mean, honestly, though, for something that you're doing that involves guns and random people that you have no idea who the fuck they
Yep.
are,
Especially
that
in today's world. That's
it's really not much because, like you said, today's world, you never know with people, and it's not like these guides or outfitters that I know of are running background checks. I mean, there's some of them that may or may not, but I don't think many of them do.
I mean, I've never heard of it. If it is a thing, I've never heard of it. Not that I've been on I've been on no guided waterfowl hunts, but multiple out of state hunts for
What do you
other
mean?
animals.
I take you all the time.
Yeah, but I don't pay you.
I
Guided's
know,
usually paid.
but I'm still guiding you out there because
I'm guiding you in the dark.
yeah, well,
Stick,
I'm
stick.
blindfolding you, and then I guide you out there.
It's true. I mean, I do have to hold your hand in the dark when we're walking through the water.
I don't have a nightlight.
Snakes scare me. But so yeah, $1 million insurance policy. Have a hunting outfitter or hunting guide license from the director of wildlife conservation. So obviously that's what
Or
we're talking about.
or it could be any authorizing agent of the Department of Wildlife
What
Conservation.
what would that be though? That's my question.
I would kinda figure kinda like the IDNR, but
Just
ODNR?
any yeah.
I mean,
So
I
not the
don't know.
director, but like our local
It'd probably
RO
be
would
like
be able to issue that or
it'd probably be, yeah, something like that, like the warden, and he'd have to run it through the proper channels for him,
yep.
probably, I would guess. I don't plan on guiding in Oklahoma, so I'm not trying to read too much into it, but
Good news is if you want to, you can get your guide license for 2 grand.
oh, that's it?
Yeah, yeah. Residents are 1,000, non-residents are 2 grand. So if you decide you want to start guiding in Oklahoma, 2 big ones,
That's
two
really
bands, two
if you
bands.
think about it, what people charge these days for hunts,
Oh,
$1,000 for a resident or 2 grand for a non-resident even. That's not shit.
yeah. No, you're gonna make that up. I mean, if you're the guy that's in a position to own 1,000 acres in Oklahoma, but you live in Kansas and you just go down to Oklahoma and guide during the season, you're gonna make that back in a weekend.
Well, that's what I mean, like, most of these outfits are running usually about 10 guys a day.
Yep.
They don't always have full books every day, so let's say an average of 7 for shits and grins. I mean, that's usually $300 a pop, probably, 250 to 300 on average. It
Yeah.
that's you made that back on 4 guys
Yeah. And it's
in 1 day.
so yeah, I mean realistically not much, but still if you have a dozen of them, right, in the state, then you've got between 12 and 24 grand that's going straight back into wildlife, I would hope, into wildlife and the conservation of wildlife in Oklahoma.
I'm sure that's part of the reason they're doing this, to kinda help regulate who's doing guiding and outfitting in the state, and then also just to bring a little revenue in for the state for the DNR. Like, I mean, it makes
Yeah.
sense, right? If the money's going to the right place, 100% makes sense.
So I mean, look at us and I will. We talked about I will and the Heritage Foundation there, and it's like we couldn't get that thing rolling. We still can't get it rolling. It was introduced, what did we say, 10 or 11 years ago?
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been over
And
10 years.
so I mean, if I were to start something like that and they're just pulling straight from granted we don't have a lot of waterfowl guides, but snow goose guides and goose guides and everything else, you could easily kind of kick that off. So I wonder if that's what Oklahoma's trying to do is get some more funds in their pocket.
And that's one thing we don't have a lot of guides, I feel like, in Iowa or outfitters. But I would say during snow goose season, we probably do have a fair amount that roll through for
Yeah,
that
so
time.
southern tiers of Iowa, you always see guys pop up and it's $300 a gun.
Mhm.
Come down on a day, $300 a day per gun, and there you go. That's the spring conservation season, obviously. But yeah, even that, $300 a gun, and you run 10 guys, you've got because I'm including in here, right, that there's a license for your helpers that are $100 for residents, 200 for non-residents. So if you got $1,000 and you got 3 helpers, you got $1,600 into it, and you charge $300 a gun a day. You got 9 guys, 8 guys, whatever, and you're
Right. It's just I mean, it makes sense. One thing I was surprised was they're requiring you to get a license for your helpers now. So, like, residents are $100 and non-residents $200 for just a helper
that
on the
is
crew.
that is weird because I don't know. I feel like there'd definitely be some gray areas or loopholes of, "Oh, he's not really a helper."
That's I didn't see it in the bill, but I'd be curious as what they're classifying as a helper, or I mean, I'm guessing if they're on your payroll, right?
Would
That's
make
probably
sense.
what it'd
Yeah.
be. I guess we're paying the guy cash. You could probably get away with not doing it, but obviously, eventually, it's gonna come back around to get you if you get checked by a CO game warden, something like
Yep.
that, you know?
Yep. Just keeping honest people honest. But, um, so yeah, like you said, I said it backwards. Like you said, if you own the land, you do not have to purchase a licensed outfit on your own property.
Or even
So
you don't even have to own the land, but if you I think it was let me pull it back up. I think it's if you have the rights for the farming on it, then you don't
that's
have to have it.
that was what I couldn't find super clear information on because I was curious on that just with knowing kind of how leases work. I mean, if you lease it for the entire rights of the land, farming, hunting, whatever, I mean, it's not yours, right? But essentially, you have the right to say what goes on that ground.
Right. I don't know. There's also one thing we don't have on the list is it shows the fines, if you don't buy this license, and the first offense, let's see here. So the first offense is a $1,500 fine, no more than $2,000 and then a possibility of 30 days in jail. Um,
Shoo!
then the second one, same fine or possibly 6 months in jail, and you could get both. It sometimes it's gonna be either or, but you could get the hammer if they're trying to set an example.
Damn.
And then I think the last one, if you get caught a third time, I think you're just done.
Yeah,
It's a period the amount of the course, so you can't hunt, I believe, for a year or 10. It's 1 to 10 years.
a year. I mean, a year. I feel like is kind of dumb, but whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, there's gonna be guys that they do get caught breaking it, which there will be somebody eventually get caught, and could be guys get away with just 1 year just by depending on the case you pull.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I think the first year is be more caught than not. I mean,
Yeah.
whether it's negligence or just ignorance, one of the two. It's like, yeah, fuck that, or oh, I didn't know. They're gonna be writing tickets that first year. I bet they're gonna be tracking it hard.
Oh, yeah, the state's gonna be out in full force on that first year and just
Yep.
trying to collect that extra taxpayer money. But, looking into this and here I heard about this a couple weeks ago, and when I got to thinking about it, when you mentioned it, I looked up Iowa to compare it to us here, and it's kinda wild that we just don't have any license. Like, I think in Iowa, you can guide on public land, maybe even 2. I'm not sure, I didn't even look that up, but there's no restriction on it for a license, so I don't unless it's in our laws that you can't guide on public land.
Right, and I haven't dug into it on the waterfall side, but I mean, you've been missing out. You could have been charging me and Pookie all year.
Dang it.
Damn it!
Do you know in Iowa, can you guide on public for deer?
I think you used to be able to, but I'm pretty sure they changed that, but I could be wrong.
So I'd
I haven't
imagine.
looked into it in a few years just because there, gossip and shit like that a few years ago. You started looking into it, but I can't remember if they changed it or not, but I think you used to be able to.
I would imagine if there's no waterfowl license for guiding, then I would say it's probably the same rules and regs as the deer hunters. I would guess. They would
Right.
fall under their regulations for running like, being a guide on public ground or however it may be.
Which and it's wild to say, like you said, what Iowa doesn't, and I know we looked at North Dakota. I mean, they have to have it. We
And
should
North Dakota's strict.
I should have done more research on the rest of the states, surrounding us, but obviously Nodak is the one that comes to mind when you're talking about waterfowl, so
Well, it's
they
like
were
one of the most traveled to states in the country,
right,
I believe.
right.
Well,
I mean,
I would say for the size of it. I mean, I think they're like, Arkansas is number 1,
well,
but
fair. But I mean, realistically, you got Arkansas, the Stuttgart, right? Duck hunting capital of the world. But I've talked to a handful of guys that are like, "Our duck hunting lately, it's been going down the past few years. It's just been shit." So I think that's just the past few years, you're getting even more traffic to Nodak, and you know, in order to be an outfitter in Nodak, it's you have to have a hunting license for at least 2 years and provide proof of insurance, just like Oklahoma's doing, except they have to hold a hunting license for 2 years. And then Nodak makes you pass a written exam administered by the Fish and Wildlife Department, which is wild. I don't know what that entails, but I would assume it's game identification and
it's probably just simple addition and subtraction.
2 plus 2 minus 4.
That way you know how to count your profits.
Yep, yep. Whether or not you believe in group limits, simple true or false questions.
Yeah,
Um,
I can't imagine that being rocket science.
and then safety certificates. So it's wild. I wouldn't be surprised if the exam is similar to like a hunter safety, right? And they
Mhm.
kind of base it around that as well. But
Yep.
on top of the hunter safety, you have to have your certifications in standard first aid and CPR.
Which I think's a good rule. Like, I mean, I think that should be a common practice for any outfitter to have. I mean, when you're working around guns and just random people
Well,
like we talked about earlier.
guns and water, right? I mean, look how
Yep.
many dipshits. Sorry, but dipshits. If it's one of you guys, sorry. You know, get out there in wind and waves, and you're out nipple deep in water and waders, and next thing you know, you're being pulled down. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's anything can happen on any given day. Yeah, and you just never know. Like, it's like you said, simple as tripping and falling in the water,
yep,
and your waders fill up, and you can't pull yourself back up. So that I feel like is a pretty would be a pretty common thing for most outfitters, other than these mom and pop up ones that are Joe Blow popping up a guide service.
right.
But I did
Definitely one.
while we were
Definitely one
while
I
you,
agree with.
yeah, 100%. While you were kind of talking about that stuff there for North Dakota, I looked up Arkansas just because we just mentioned it. Dude, their resident guide license is only 25 bucks, and the
Jesus.
non-resident is 40 or 450. Pretty laid back restrictions, like, I mean, and you can guide on public WMAs from what I'm reading here.
Yep.
It's it's pretty standard stuff. Like, you just pay that $25 or 450 to become a guide, and it kinda sounds like you can go to most places and guide wherever you like, for the most part, where you want. There's probably some limitations on certain areas, but
Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
that's. I mean, you'd think for anybody that's a resident or grew up hunting, in that area, they would be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll pay $25, and if I can take 2 groups out a year and pocket a couple grand, great.
Oh, man, back in the heyday when Arkansas used to really kill a lot of ducks,
Oh,
and you were a resident that knew how to shoot a duck or kinda had a favorite
or
timber hole that
I'll
always
say
killed ducks.
knew them holes that everybody else kinda skirted around.
Right. I mean, that probably an easy way to make some bucks right there.
Yeah. So, all
But
right, guys, get some good sleep. We're waking up at midnight. We gotta get to the hole first.
yeah. Well, a lot of them places got on and off times, so you just gotta
They do.
gotta
That's
gotta race, crash boats and race.
yep.
But I
I've seen some of that. It's wild. You have to be done at a certain time, and
well,
you
see,
can't
I'm
take
used
off.
to that. Where I grew up, we like, on our public lake that we hunted, and a lot of the public all the public areas we hunted for the most part, was shooting time ended at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So, you had to be I don't think you had to be off the water anytime, but you just couldn't shoot anymore after 1.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Iowa goes, I don't think I would be like, it would suck a little bit, right? But I don't wouldn't be opposed to a certain time frame of, "Hey, you gotta be done at this time."
I've discussed that with Cade and Austin in the past quite a bit, and a few other people, but I you're gonna get a lot of hate for saying it, but man, I would like to see something implemented to where, like, the first 30 days of the season, you had to be off the water by 3 o'clock to give them birds that last 2 hours to rest and not be ran around by not just mud motors, but all motors,
Yep.
people running around out there or just harassing them. So them birds get no rest when they get here to us.
That's what I'm getting at, I don't I just the list of people that don't like me is growing, so if you don't like me, whatever for saying it, but
Well,
like you said, we gotta get some birds some rest 'cause it's they're if them birds been here longer than 3 or 4 days, it gets a little tricky.
it gets tough, definitely gets tough, but I think it would help from our birds getting so stale so quick because we have a lot of people in our area that do go out and hunt in the afternoon and hunt till sunset.
And it sucks because you don't wanna take away the hunting from the guys that work during the day and can make it out on the water by 3 o'clock, you know?
Right. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, honestly, any restrictions suck for the guy that's just going out when he can, but if you look at it for, like, quality throughout the year, I think something like that could help our quality, but, I mean, who knows? I mean, there's other states that do it. I'm sure we could look at the data on those and at some point see if it's helped or not.
It'd be nice to see. I mean, obviously, you can't do it without trying it for a few years and get a good baseline, but it'd be nice to see if something like that would obviously help the hunting pressure or the bird pressure, or if it would help numbers in general, or nothing at all,
Right.
or if it wouldn't make a difference.
Now, do you think you were gonna start seeing this a lot more in the states through the Midwest here in the prairie pothole region that maybe they whether they have them or don't have them, where we're gonna see outfitter laws changing to affect certain states or certain people?
I think with Oklahoma starting it, or not starting it right, but Oklahoma's jumping on that train, and then obviously with the kind of blow up that's been quiet the past few weeks of the the migration stop and the flooded corn and everything else, it would not surprise me to see more states in the Midwest and kinda
Did
jump
you
on that train of
did you say the flooded corn debates have been kinda quiet lately?
I
Dude,
haven't been checking out the
I say,
stuff you probably have,
bro
but
brother, you gotta get on some more pages. I don't even get on Facebook that much, but I get on there just enough that every time I scroll through the feed for more than 2 minutes, I see somebody complaining about it, whether it's for the good or the bad.
here's the deal, like, and when I say been quiet the past few weeks, I don't mean Joe Blow or Colton Bradley bitching about flooded corn. I mean, like, where the legislation's at with it and where, where letters have been sent and topics have been discussed and stuff like that. Because obviously it got hot there for a minute with letters going to certain people and talking about certain areas with flooded corn, right? That was a hot topic there for a minute. Now, obviously, all over Facebook, all over the keyboard warriors are gonna bitch and moan and complain about anything they can. So,
Right, and I do think it's still a hot topic, and they're still pushing it, but they're beating against the wall, a brick wall at that right now, and that's gonna take some time because even if they do anything, there's probably gonna be a study for more than 2 years. Like, it's gonna be like a 3 to 5-year study probably on if it's gonna help
right.
or if it would change anything. So, you're not gonna see that change overnight. You're not gonna see anything happen overnight on that fact, and, I mean, most people in here know where I kinda stand on that, but there's a lot of people on both sides of the court, and it is fun to watch
Where do
or
you
or
stand on
see.
that? I'm confused, I guess. I don't know where
Shut up.
you're.
No, you're not. Get out of here with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of fair arguments on both sides of it.
There
I
is.
truly do that. I do believe that, but
The problem is
it's
is, like, I see Bill's been in here commenting a couple times. I see him talking to people all the time, and he'll just try to tell them something, and whether they're pro corn or against corn, they just lose their marbles. Like, people are losing their marbles over flooded corn and the debate on it, and it's absolutely hysterical.
that's and not to take away from the flooded corn, that's with everything. If you say anything that slightly contradicts what people are believing or wanna think, then people just don't listen. It's like,
Yeah, You
Talking to
can't
stupid people or arguing with stupid people makes you stupid, so don't do it.
yeah, you can't have debates no more. You just have one disagreement, then a fight.
Right.
Except for
So,
nobody fights anymore because they just like keyboard warrior fights, I guess. No, there's no fist fights anymore.
well, you don't wanna get sued.
Exactly. There's a whole lot of legal shit that goes into a fist fight.
Hit you once and you just crack your head on the curb, then you're going to jail.
Uh,
Yeah,
um,
I think there's a lot of good discussions to be had with certain people. I think there's a lot of guys out there that will still listen to arguments and stuff like that, but yeah, obviously, there's a lot of guys that are like, "Oh, you support it? Nope. Don't really care to talk to you because obviously you're an idiot."
yeah, you're dumb.
Yeah.
You just can't afford flooded corn.
Yeah,
You're an
you're just
idiot.
mad. You're just mad that I have it and you don't. You're right, I am, but that's not the argument I'm trying to have.
Yeah, I am a broke ass bitch. What's your problem
Yeah,
with it?
God, get off me.
No, it's good times. I've been watching it to try and see if anything breaks on it so we can kinda talk about it, but so far, kinda crickets from the US Fish and Wildlife Service on that, honestly,
Right.
which is, surprising, but not surprising at the same time.
I hope it hasn't been like, I hope it's quiet because it's going through the process. I don't hope that it's quiet because it got swept under the rug and it's done and over with.
It's not I know the Flyweight Federation has been still gaining support, still getting people to back their cause, pushing for at least a study to figure out the whole shindig. So they're still moving along, but everything I've kind of seen and noticed is the government moves slow as fuck, and everybody knows that. So no progress on that part. But we'll see. You never know. I don't hold my breath on anything happening quick or fast on that.
Nope. Nope, I wouldn't either. We'll just hopefully update as we get information, obviously.
Yeah. Well, what else you got for us on this podcast? It's been a fun one just chatting me and you. We don't have
Yeah.
Austin here annoying the fuck out of us.
Well, I mean, realistically, it'd be the same conversation, just with Austin staring at us. Oh, no, I don't have anything else. If you guys, obviously, if you guys have thoughts on the Oklahoma bill, let us know. Comments, texts, calls, whatever. We're curious as well. See what other people feel like. We're not the type of person to say you're dumb for bringing an argument to it. But other than that, I mean, like I said, here in a couple weeks, we'll do another episode. And then hopefully we do, I'd like to get 2 in for the Expo, but we'll see what happens and how everything plays out, obviously.
Yeah, and if you're gonna be at the expo and you'd like to meet any of us, Cade won't be there very much. He will be racing that weekend, so he's got to go left hand turns.
I
But
think he'll be there Friday, right?
I think he's going to the banquet Friday. He'll be there probably a little bit on Sunday, maybe, but he'll be there Friday for sure at some point in time, I'd imagine. Speaking of Cade, real quick, he's having a hell of a year so far racing. Got to give him the credit.
I gotta give him, well, I was a little disappointed Saturday, right? But dude's been on fire. Car's fast. He's driving good. Shout
He's
out
got
Cade, Hit
himself.
Day Racing.
I mean, we're getting close to midway through the season here, and he's right there. I mean, him and
He's sitting good.
Taskerman.
Yep,
Yeah,
he's sitting good with points. So
yeah,
obviously doable, right? Just I wish it would have been nice to see him on the podium Saturday.
yeah. And he had a fast car, but he had a little bit of a fender bender. Didn't wreck the car, but almost wrecked the car Saturday night. But he's all good. Car's all good. They'll be back hopefully,
That's all that
and
matters.
fast again next weekend.
Yeah, what you were about to say was fast as fuck, boy.
Yeah, yeah. But
But yeah,
anyways, if you wanna talk to any of us, just hit us up or hang out with any of us. We'll be there. I'll be there every day, all day, pretty much. Zach, I
I'll be
think
there
he'll be
every day,
there.
all day.
So,
We'll have stickers in our back pocket. Everybody needs a little cooler sticker. Represent your boys.
yep, we will have plenty of stickers, maybe something else in the works, but I don't know,
I'm
kinda
thinking about
slacking on
getting
that.
a tattoo gun, and I'll give out DuckFellas tattoos if anybody wants one.
That's a good idea.
Dude, I'm down.
You gonna, like, draw it up on your Etch-a-Sketch first?
No, I'll just trace the sticker. We'll put the sticker on your leg, and then I'll just trace it.
We can have Levitt Graphics print us off a sticker with, like, to where
Oh,
you can
stencil.
yeah,
Like little lines all around the words,
yeah.
logo. At Ryan Levitt. I'm gonna hit you up tomorrow.
Well, this has been fun. I've enjoyed coming back on the podcast again. It was Feels like it's been forever.
Yeah, it's felt like a while, but glad we got another one in. I know, Tyler, subscribe on your preferred podcast destination. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Podbean, and iHeartRadio. If you don't see us where you find your podcast, reach out to us so we can get it out to more listeners. Don't forget to follow social media, DuckFellas, one word, podcast on Facebook and Instagram.
And also, Pookie has taken Venmos because evidently his equipment that he has for podcasting absolutely sucks ass.
Yes,
So-
donations.
Or if you're technical savvy, hit him up, the DM, maybe help him figure out how to hook up a USB-C cord to his laptop for his microphone and camera.
It's tough. It's tough out here.
It's rough being a guy in his position. But it's been fun. It was a good time, but not that good of a time. So we'll see you next time.
Later on.
Peace.